All right. We live, family. Y'all already know what time it is. Y'all rocking with the general. You already know we got that firepower today, man. We staying consistent with our message, in alignment with Carmelo Anthony, Cyrus, Carmack Belton, Young Cohen Wiley. Yeah, all our family, man, is in turmoil and trauma because of a wicked system out here. We're gonna stay on the front line applying nothing but pressure. Gotta apply that pressure out there. As we are okay, family. What we're gonna be discussing today, that black people account for over 50% of exonerations, false convictions of our people out here. We got to be very aware of this, before we get to running off at our gums. A lot of people get to run and you listen to these demons out here, they're gonna bring up everything but the truth. They're gonna bring up everything but the truth. Hold on, family. Let me get my hold on. That's right. We're in the house. Gonna bring up everything but the truth. So we want to be clear about what's going on and has been going on. You feel what I'm saying? We're gonna be clear about what's going on and what has been going on. Okay, so we talking about over 50% of all peoples exonerated in the United States. Matter of fact, let me get it up there. Hold on, family. Yeah, we're in the house. Yeah, we're in the house. Yeah. Wow, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. I'm sitting up here looking at looking at and that's crazy. Every time I do this, something else crazy, statistic come up. But that's right, over 53% of all exoneration, US exonerations, all throughout the United States, black, black, despite representing only 13.6% of of the population. So you can look at the crazy disparity in numbers. You feel what I'm saying? Uh, Innocent Black Americans. Let's listen to this now. Are 7 times more likely to be falsely convicted of serious crimes than innocent white people. See, they don't do white people like that. No, sir. They don't they don't do that. Unless they don't even do po-right trash like that. You see, drug crimes. Black individuals are roughly 12 times more likely to be wrongly convicted of drug offenses, often driven by systemic racial profiling and mass police corruption scandals. You hear me? So they throwing drug cases on innocent peoples out here. Yeah, they throwing drug cases on innocent peoples out here. Murder charges. Black defendants are about 7.5 times more likely to be falsely convicted of homicide. Frequently involve cases with severe official misconduct or mistaken eyewitness identification. You see, so you getting these so-called eyewitnesses. that are lying, not qualified to make an identification. You see, so now what's even more crazy, imprisonment duration. Once wrongfully convicted, black exonerees spend an average of 45% longer behind bars than white exonerees before they are finally cleared. That's crazy. That's another number that I didn't see the last time. So, so this is crazy. Wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, I'm throwing some things in here right quick. Yeah, so in 2024, and because why am I bringing this up? Because we have to understand in dealing with these cases out here, young Cyrus, Carmack Belton, accused of stealing water. Life ain't worth water. You see, water worth more than black life. Then you got uh 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 Carmelo Anthony, and everybody swear to God they know what they talking about. Ain't we heard that before? We've heard that before. How many black people then been locked up? Same crimes, murder and this that. In 2024, let's talk about this now. I want to drop facts for you. Black exonerees, we talking about in 2024, black exonerees accounted for nearly 60% of all U.S. exonerations. This is 2024 and 61% in 2025. Now you got to understand this nation is over 330 million people. You see, and blacks supposedly only account for 13.6%. But yet all of the exonerations, false charges, corrupt police throwing cases on people, corrupt judges, corrupt juries, you see, who find someone guilty, we hear the same cheerleading that they are, the facts speak for themselves and all this shit. But yet and still, once the appeal and the actual, going back over the whatever facts, and people actually do the research and test the materials, look at the false allegations that's been given by witnesses and police, and find out that they was all lying, and they have to exonerate the individual. So in 2024, out of 147 exonerations, 87 of those exonerations were black. Damn near 60%. Damn near 60%. In 2025, out of 97 total in the United States, exonerations, 59 of them were black. They were black. So overall, people of blackness in both years, people of color combined made up 78%. So if you add 2024, 2025 together, 78% of all exonerees across this country were black. You're throwing false charges on our people. So when we step up, people see this is the shit that's not being said out here. Like black peoples is actually bringing, we just, emotional. We have to speak up for our motherfucking self. Because if we didn't speak up for our motherfucking self, look at what we going through. And this is targeted. How in the fuck is 13.6% of the people getting, and we make up damn near, in some instances, close to 80%. If you just take a couple years, close to 80% of the exonerees. You throwing fake charges on our people. You see? primary drivers, official misconduct, such as police or prosecution errors, the prosecution and the police, and perjury. Listen, perjury, false accusations remain the top two contributing factors driving these specific exonerations. You hear that? You hear that? Perjury, lying under oath. Police and prosecution errors are just lying. Error is one thing, just fucking lying is another. Lost time. Black people, listen to this. Nobody else had to go through this shit but us. Black individuals cleared in these cohorts lost an average of roughly 13.5 to 14.2 years of their lives to wrongful imprisonment before being free. This shit is crazy, man. But that, you know, and wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna bring this up too. Glenn Simmons, this brother spent the longest time being incarcerated before being exonerated. Glenn Simmons, and I'm gonna take my time and give each one of these brothers and sisters their own live stream. Glenn Simmons holds the record for the longest wrongful incarceration in U.S. history. In U.S. history, not just for blacks, in U.S. history, spending 48 years, 1 month, and 17 days in prison before being cleared. Whoa, that's 50 years. Spent 50 years on a line ass, and so that's why you can't pay no attention to none of this shit out here on the internet. You know, motherfuckers telling you to be, you got this weak ass pastor telling people to teach their children to be submissive to authority. What fucking authority? Wicked authority? Okay. Ricky Webb did 45 years, 11 months in Tennessee, exonerated in 2024 after fighting a life sentence since 1978. Man. So this shit is unbelievable, man. Isaiah Andrews, 45 years, 11 months, Ohio, exonerated in 2020 after withheld police reports identified a different suspect. Man, this shit is unbelievable, man. I swear to God. When I get to going down here, sometimes I can't make it to the bottom. You know, man, I'm just like, whoa. Wilbur Jones, 44 years, 9 months in LA. I don't know. This might be Louisiana. I think it's Louisiana. Freed in 2017 after evidence linking the crime to a serial rapist was suppressed. Vincent Simmons, 44 years, 6 months, Louisiana, cleared in 2022 following a 44-year fight against a 100-year sentence. They gave this man 100 fucking years. They gave this man, Vincent Simmons, 100 fucking years. He did 44 years, 6 months, and was exonerated. Ronnie Long, 43 years, so 10 months, North Carolina, freed in 2020 after proof of suppressed evidence was revealed. Kevin Strickland, 42 years, six months. I believe this is I don't know if this is Missouri. Exonerated in 2021 after the primary witness recanted her testimony. And lastly, Herbert Myers and Clifford Williams Jr., 42 years, 6 months, both exonerated in 2019 after evidence contradicted the original witness testimony. You didn't wasted people's lives on lies. That's why we always got to fight. If you don't fight for, as a black man and woman, if you don't fight for your own justice, you ain't gonna get no motherfucking justice. You will not get and let's be clear, no other race in the United States got these kind of numbers of being falsely accused and exonerated. No other race. We in certain instances in 2024, 2025, we made up over close to 80% of the exonerations. This shit is ridiculous. You see, nobody else goes through the shit that we go through. That's why we had to stay on our shit at all times. That's why I don't believe shit that they saying about Carmelo Anthony. I don't believe shit that they saying about Cyrus Carmack Belton. I don't believe a goddamn thing about what they saying about young little brother, 1-year-old Cohen Wally. I don't believe a fucking thing. Nothing, and should not. You know, they are lying. Been liars is obviously these wicked police, judges, lawyers, been locking people up, throwing false charges, have the fucking evidence, suppress the evidence, locking innocent people up. Don't give a fuck. So why should we? Why should we give a fuck? You see? So, family, I'm gonna move forward. We got some more videos tonight. I want to bring this up personally because people's is not hitting on this. You know, I want to make sure I hit on this, you know, and, you know, because this is a clear understanding that this is the dominant culture. I want to press this in your brain that this is the dominant culture. You know, so don't go off astray on and try to separate, you know, this one trial from all the other trials. Once you put it in perspective, you see that this shit has been going on a very long time. Click that link over there in my chat down in the video description. Patreon, support the general. We out here doing serious work, exposing the truth to our people. I appreciate you. Always do. Black Power.